Cool. So welcome. I give a quick update on RTTL, including thread list, but also a quick roundup of what is it. Some of you not know what the service we are hosting here. So let me do a quick introduction of what is the service. So a while ago, we established a real-time thread list as a sample and thread info sharing platform in AMTSO. Most likely, first of all, to share thread intel over all the members, but also support test labs and certifications to run some random tests with some fresh samples they are receiving from data from the other members. However, the ask is most sharing only most prevalent or impactful threads they're seeing on their customer base. So something that's quite important and can consider as really prevalent threats hitting all the user bases. We also open up the RTTL for non-members, most likely for a single point of submission. So basically, we got asked from thirds or independent researchers allowing us to submit a sample or sample some new variants families they're seeing out there with the possibility to contact all the vendors in once. And secondly, the service is basically available for all the members in AMTSO, which they can also sign up on the member website of AMTSO. Quick overview on the features that we are hosting. So first of all, if you're sharing data via RTTL to RTTL, you're in control of the data. So you can select of who will receive the samples. So basically, you can exclude one or the other members, or also not allowing, and this is by default, not allowing sharing samples to externals, but gives you also the other way around, saying you want to share samples with a specific non-member of AMTSO having an account there. You can also allow using the system to send over the samples to them exclusive. As mentioned before, we designed RTTL also in a way that the testers benefits from the samples. Of course, makes only sense that those samples being for a time limited available for their exclusive. So each tester member which want to use those samples have getting a bunch of samples for the first 24 hours, which they can use for the testing and ensure that those samples being not shared through all the vendors at that moment, or security vendors at that moment. The system allows sample uploads, but also metadata uploads. This is right now we are enhancing further. We also built up an API for URL submissions. I will show you in a minute to enrich the metadata there. The RTTL is fully API driven, so most likely what you see, all functionality you have in interface, most likely you can also use the API for doing that. And we're doing the review of the data quality, and also we're enhancing this further with new features that will come soon. In addition, we have implemented a fully GDPR compliant sandbox. I will give you also some notes on this later. However, the sandbox is the full kernel and user mode sandbox service, which combine both behavior reports into one JSON, which you can download from the interface or and receive by API. Quick notes on the API functionalities we have. We have 5 functions where basically you have the standard file submissions, receiving the documents about the metadata. You can file download, file search. You can look for the top files, most prevalent that you're seeing in RTTL. But also lately a new functionality we added that you can delete samples if you're accidentally uploading or have uploaded a sample that you see it's either not malware or should be not part of the system. You can make also a deletion request, which of course only works for samples you have been submitted previously. Then we have a new functionality about the URLs. You can do basically similar. You can submit your URLs. You can search for URLs. The metadata have more context of these URLs in RTTL, plus also doing a deletion request for the URL that you may accidentally uploaded. Some general helper functionalities on the APIs. You can do some lookups for specific malware families, for classifications. You can list what type of privacy levels we're currently hosting in RTTL. As I said, you can use the full cloud sandbox functionality, where you can uploading a sample, push it directly to the sandbox, and also receiving or waiting for the answer, the JSON report. And also for existing samples that you might be not uploaded, but someone else already uploaded, and there is no report from the sandbox available, you can also just trigger a scan for this or rescan for this sample. From the sandbox point of view, as I already said, it's either controllable via interface or with the sandbox API. We enable this feature for all the users having an account in RTTL to upload the samples and trigger a sandbox report out of that. As I said previously, because this were one of the main concerns that we received, where the sandbox is running, what data being hosted, do we have some privacy issues on this? So this is a fully GDPR compliant sandbox. So basically, you can push data into that, reports being created, and the system completely forget about the sample and the data that's being analyzed in that. The sandbox itself running in AWS as a user in common mode, and provides more behaviors as they're looking also up with what type of files being submitted, and can also make advantage of knowing this file type is available, extracting more context out of a file, and may trigger particular different configuration while execution or detonation on this. How this looks like is basically you're coming from the RTTL interface, either via the interface itself or via REST API. You're triggering a file will being pushed to the sandbox. We have a file identification layer there, doing some deep inspection on the file, and then also decide about what will be the best configuration for this file type to detonate, and do some behavioral profiling, which pulled into a JSON report, and send it back to the RTTL interface. Most of the time, it's we have the report within 1 minute 90 seconds. Sometimes it could take longer, depending on the load that's currently running on the sandbox. And this is how it looks like with the integration in RTTL. We have the interface where you can, each of the files you're seeing in RTTL, you have their button. You can send over to the cloud sandbox. You can download the report if soon it's available. If the report is not yet available, the box is grayed out. So basically, you immediately can see. And with the API, you can just listen and waiting until the JSON report is available to download. Coming to more interesting stuff about what data is now in RTTL. Here's some statistics. Most likely, all the members which are have access and contributing to RTTL, we're saying we want to see at least each day 200 new prevalent malicious samples that you're seeing out of your customer base to be uploaded there. However, we have about 23,000 sample submissions per week, which is in a month completely 103,000 in average. And it's most likely constantly increasing. I said we make comparison from the last year, and we have 5,000 more. Also from the previous quarters, years, it's constantly increasing the samples. All right. These are mainly the main contributors as the members. of AMTSO, which are supporting the sample contributions. However, if you're not yet there, you can also even as it easy sign up and join RTTL if you want. On a second, we are also doing a quality review of the data. As I said, we are encouraged the members uploading the most prevalent samples they're seeing on the customer base. We make some lookups of the uniqueness of files, of course, with polymorphic file types. It's a bit tricky and a challenge, but also we're looking on new variants level. So at the moment, what you're seeing, data is really, really fresh, what we're seeing in RTTL. As you can see, is nearly 30% of the sample submission seen before any other source. And you see then when it comes to later, if within the first 24 hours, it's still 34% of the samples still not seen by any other sources on that, which includes other feeds, virus total, and so on. Overall quality is healthy in LTTL. We were doing regular checkups on the quality of samples. Are they really malicious or not? We seeing also vendors or contributors find samples that are not malicious. They're reporting that backwards. And with this, we also said we want to bring new features and functionality in RTTL. And this is what we're right now building into also a machine learning model, which gives us a clear indicator of what's malicious, what's not being recently uploaded to the RTTL. Gives also the opportunity that we not need to monitor and review the data frequently. We can implement a kind of notification system if there is a sample that most likely machine learning saying never seen this in a malicious context, no features are used in a malicious context, send a notification to the contributors and saying maybe you should recheck your sample being uploaded if it's really malware or not. Of course, we are constantly improving and doing bug fixes on RTTL. What you can see here, we make always improvements on the API. If there's a contribution request, we will always try to implement this. We also offering a test client that you can run some tests on the test instances, that everything is probably working for you. We have full documentation here. We have the thread list. Give you, for those which not knowing what the thread list, I give you in a minute more details and context about thread list, what we implemented. Having a standard set of malicious samples can be downloaded and tested. And of course, we're constantly doing bug fixes with statistics and tables, make the backends faster and more accessible on the data. So this is what we have right now in the backlog. We would like to optimize the interface to load the pages faster. As you can imagine, the databases in the background is huge, hosting more than 1 million samples, and sometimes searches and showing data could take time or lead us sometimes to timeouts. We are working on this and make this faster and better. Next one is the machine learning we would like to implement that helps us in monitor the sample quality, but also may helps testers and may also security vendors for samples which are looks quite strictly malicious in the context that they can pull them out and use them for tests and certification. We started lately a discussion on that traditional threats are having the systems fair is fair enough. However, we see a huge increase on scam at all, which is already impacting user customer base. And we also would like to have the started a discussion about how we bring this new category of scam in context, having this in RTTL. It's more complex, as we are not talking about traditional malicious files. We are talking more about text blobs, videos, pictures, which has either URLs inside or have in in the behavior of several context messaging shows then that this is scam. So it's quite complex area, and this will spend a lot of time, I think, to bring this into in RTTL as a service that benefits most likely security vendors at all. And as I said, and the last one, what we're doing right now is we are exploring, having a discussion about the involvement of thirds, because they're most likely providing a very high high quality of malicious samples, uniqueness of samples that we're seeing. We have some thirds contribution, but we want to make this to an extent. And this is the discussion that we have right now, how we can enhance our network on RTTL by their contribution activities. As promised, the threat list. Some of you might remember back then the time of there is a whitelist. They stopped their services some 2-3 years ago, and we in AMTSO said we want to continue with the service. We take it over, renamed it the threat list, as RTTL most likely offer already all the functionalities of the whitelist services. We want to make this a more real-time fashion, so we implemented this as a rolling whitelist set, which is basically a specific amount of samples or age of a sample end up in that samples removed from the official set automatically. You can also challenge samples of saying this is not malicious, you should remove this, and can be used also by testers. And this is it's running completely independent from RTTL, and also you don't need to be AMTSO member of this, because this is a completely open service. You just need to apply for the service. We have our own board which looks of who want to join, who want to contribute, and verify and give you then the allowance to enable you to join the system, which you need also, of course, do the contributions of samples, but also you can receive always the malicious set of the samples. Those samples are not same what you're seeing in RTTL. So also this is quite interesting data, as we have contribution from also from non-AMTSO members. One more to say, this is still in discussion because we see less contributions there, so it seems not that attractive for people to join. We're not yet fully sure about how we want to continue with this. However, we keep the service at the moment running, and we need to see about how we can either make it better, or we need to take a decision to discontinue at one point. But at the moment, we keep it running. Here are also some numbers from the ThreatLab submissions. Here's a bit, we have a different number. Most likely we encourage the members of ThreatList to submit about 20 new samples they're seeing on their source. Overall, we have 1,000 new sample submissions per week. Here's the quality even higher that we are seeing in RTTL, as here you can see we really crafted and hunted samples from the members, so it gives you a better quality on threads, and also the higher diversity of the samples and that you're seeing in ThreatList than in RTTL. Good. As I said before, if you want to join, we have a form for the members. You can easily apply for the service here, accessing the URL or going via our website in the members area. And that's it. Any questions?